Hello and welcome to Cactus Ape's Garage. Today's episode is going to be rather different because I've thrown a pretty big spanner into the machinery that is my own project planning. So if you watch part 1 and part 2, you know how in part 1 I show the adapters for my Porsche big brake kit, and in part 2 I show the engine and gearbox mounts for this project. Well, they are going to be absolutely useless and obsolete as of this moment going forward. So it's time for us to go on a little road trip, or well, a rather long trip, during which you will find out why all of the adapters and mounts won't work for me anymore. So let's do it! So I am a few kilometers into my journey. Just went out of town so I could film this in private. And here we have it. The car, transporter, light, truck, whatever you want to call it. But I am excited to go and fetch the car, so let's get into it. Okay, so by now I guess you're wondering, what car? And possibly you already have the engine in the car and now you're saying it won't work? Well, don't worry, you will find out real soon. Now, engage Warp Factor 5. By the way, when we arrive and I explain the deadly dealio with this new purchase, please forgive the poor lighting. I expected to arrive while daylight still shone, but due to some miscommunication between me and the seller, it turned out that I had another 2 hours to go when I thought I had arrived. Hence the pitch black darkness. Okay, so here we have it. Now I have purchased the Golf Mark IV with the TDI and 4Motion. So, in case future me didn't mention, this drivetrain is going in my Caddy Mark 1 to make it 4-wheel drive. So yeah, I am super excited because this was a really cheap one. I did have to travel a few miles, or kilometers in my case, since I am in the metric world. And on this side here, it's very dark. I do apologize for that. It has a dent from a bus driver backing up into it, but it hasn't affected the steering alignment at all. But yeah, anyway, now I'm going to go into the gas station and get some food, and then we will be on our way. So let's head out and see this beauty in the daylight. Excuse the mess, I have too many projects going on, trying to sell this Mondeo, and this Subaru is in again. But here we have it. The 2004 Golf Mark IV with a 1.9 TDI, if I didn't mention it before. And of course the all-important 4Motion, which we are going to use. Also scored some winter rims, which I can resell or something. I'm not going to use them on the Caddy Mark 1, obviously, because they wouldn't look right. But here's the plan. I'm going to cut the firewall right below the windshield, and I'm going to cut along the sills and behind the front seats. That's the plan, and I'm going to transfer all of that into my Mark 1. I do know this is wider on the inside. If I remember correctly, when I measured, this is about 5 centimeters wider on the inside, so I have to cut the dash, shorten it, and I also have to trim the edges of the floor and firewall to accommodate that, and also move in the brackets for the dash. But I believe this will be a much faster approach for me, since I don't have sheet metal working tools, if you can say that. So with this I get the prop shaft tunnel, I get all of that, and then I only have to fabricate a new rear end for the car to accommodate this rear end, which will be a whole lot of fabrication by itself. And as I might have mentioned before, I have never done something as complicated as this. So we are going to learn together, because I don't know what I'm going to do. I just know that I am going to do it. So yeah, let's move inside. I have another surprise. So here we are, back inside on the floor in front of my caddy with a knife. Now, why might I have this? Well, I did have a surprise, which is this. Rather heavy. Now I know you can guess, if you see this side, what it is. Garrett. Now what might this be? Let's open it and find out, shall we? Well, will you look at that? Whoa, you're... Okay. Let's get this out of the way. There are more stuff inside, like gaskets and stuff. Here we have a new turbo for this TDI. This is a Garrett GT 1749 VB turbo from a newer style TDI, the ARL with 150 horsepower to be exact. So this is going to spool faster, it's going to produce more horsepower, and it's also a VNT 17 turbo. So it's going to be awesome. Also, if you look at the original turbo on my ALH, it doesn't have a well-flowing exhaust manifold like this has. It's more of a log style manifold. Now perhaps that doesn't matter on a diesel because it doesn't flow that much exhaust pressure anyway, or exhaust gases. But it can't really be a downside to have a more even flowing exhaust system. So this is going to be mounted onto the engine as soon as the engine is out of there, because you know it has to go out since it's going to be 4-wheel drive from now on. Awesome! I'm kind of excited if you can't tell. Anyway, that's the new turbo. You're going to see it in the future on this lovely little engine, and you can expect to see me do 4-wheel drive skids probably by next summer. So yeah, I'm also going to make a commitment to you, my viewers, that from now on I'm going to upload a new episode every Thursday. And the only thing that can make a dent in that schedule is if the parts I order hasn't arrived on time. And that's for 2 reasons. I have had too much shit going on in my life, so I haven't really been here to do what I want to do. So, with that accountability that I now promised you, I'm going to feel a big need to be here, not only for myself, but I want to live up to that promise. And 2, I have recently switched work, so I had to give myself a little time to get accustomed to a longer travel time to and from work before I spend a whole lot of afternoon or nights here besides work. And on another note, I am going to move my scheduled twin turbo V6 Toyota Corolla, which is a 1982, so rear wheel drive. I'm going to move up the timetable for that as well, because I need to let this garage go, because it's become too expensive now, since I make a little less from my new work than I did from my old work. So both of these cars, this Caddy and that Corolla, shall be done by the summer, so I can quit this garage or terminate the contract. Yeah, that's it for this episode. Let me know what you think, if you want to see when I fetch new cars or something in the future, or if you thought it was boring, in which I won't film that part anymore. So yeah, have a good one. Now head out to your car and start wrenching and make some progress. So have a good one.